Today, we're talking to immigrant parents like me, and we will be addressing one of the biggest financial mistakes that we see them make. Many immigrant parents, especially those in their 40s and 50s, find themselves caught in this financial tug of war, supporting aging parents and family back home, while at the same time trying to secure their children's future in the new country. The weight of these responsibilities can leave them feeling stuck and unable to build financial stability. It's a hard truth that many immigrant parents don't want to hear and don't know how to fix. But Fatima learned this lesson the hard way, and we're going to learn from her. So, how do you balance both these important things without struggling? Let's talk about it. Note that the story I want to relate to you is based on an actual true life story, but names have been changed. So, this is Fatima. She's in her 40s, an immigrant mother from Nigeria living in Toronto, Canada. On this particular day, Fatima sat in the tiny kitchen of her rented apartment in Toronto, staring at the stack of unpaid bills on the table. The aroma of jollof rice filled the air, but she had lost her appetite. Her children, Malik and Aisha, were playing in the next room, unaware of their mother's growing distress. She sighed, picking up her phone to check her messages. And as she expected, there was a new one from her younger brother back home in Nigeria. She read the message. It read, "Sis, we need money for Mama's medicine. Please send something soon." Fatima felt a familiar pang of guilt and pressure. She had promised to take care of her mother and siblings when she left for Canada 5 years ago. Back then, she had imagined a smooth life, a great job, beautiful home, financial stability. Canada was going to give all of that to her. Instead, she was stuck in a cycle of endless remittances and financial strain. Her husband, Ahmed, walked in just at that moment, pulling off his construction boots as he stepped into the kitchen. He glanced at Fatima. "Another request from home?" he asked, knowingly. She nodded. "Yes, Mama needs her medicine." Ahmed sighed and sat down beside his wife. "Fatima, we're behind on rent. Malik needs new winter boots and Aisha's school trip cost $100. How do we keep sending money when we're barely getting by ourselves?" Fatima frowned. "But they are family. What do you expect me to do? Say no?" Ahmed rubbed his temples, obviously tired of the conversation already. "Listen, Fatima, I'm saying we need balance. If we keep sending every dollar back home, what about our kids? Their future? What about us? Our future?" Fatima didn't answer. Ahmed said nothing further, and the conversation ended abruptly, as it always does when they talk about this subject. Fatima and Ahmed's story isn't unique. Many immigrant parents abroad find themselves caught between supporting loved ones back home and securing their children's future, and even their own future. The guilt of making it abroad while family struggles at home is overwhelming. But at what cost? The first time Fatima sent money home, it was for an emergency. Her father's hospital bill was due. But then came her sister's school fees, then a cousin's wedding, then her brother's wedding, then this, and then that. And over time, the request became constant, and Fatima and Ahmed never learned to say no. They worked long hours, Ahmed in construction, Fatima as a personal support worker, but their savings were non-existent. Investing in their kids' education, retirement planning, those things felt like distant dreams that they might never ever achieve. But somehow, they managed to get by. And then something unexpected happened. One winter evening, as Ahmed was coming home from work, he slipped on an icy sidewalk and fractured his leg. The doctor said he would need to stay off work for at least 8 weeks. Ahmed almost passed out when the doctors told him, 8 whole weeks? How would they survive? They had no emergency fund, no savings anywhere, and their already stressed family had been thrown into chaos. The rent was due in 2 weeks. The bills were piling up, and Fatima panicked. She didn't know what to do. She may have to take extra shifts, but she had not been feeling well lately, and someone had to tend to Ahmed as well. She felt the pressure closing in on her. That was when she reached out to her family back home in Nigeria. hoping for some help. But the response she got was heartbreaking. Sister, we don't have anything to send though. We are relying on you. You are the one that is abroad. I thought the government gave you people free money there. What? Reality hit Fatima like a ton of bricks. She had spent years helping everyone else, but had nothing to fall back on when she needed it the most. With Ahmed unable to work, Fatima had to make tough choices. Choices she should have made long ago. Choices that were now forced on her. Choices born out of pain. It was as if the scales fell off her eyes when she realized that instead of working, all her family members back home were sitting down, waiting for her to send money every month. She was just a cash cow to them, and that hurts. It really hurts. Fatima quickly got to work on making changes. She called her children and explained that they would need to give up on some things in the meantime. Aisha would have to forgo that school trip, and the small birthday party that they had planned for Malik would not hold anymore. Her children were understanding, and they told their mom that they understood. She cut back on the money that she had been sending back home. She just focused more on the health needs of her parents. This was one of the hardest decisions she ever made, but for the first time, she realized that she had been helping others at the expense of her own household. She and Ahmed created a financial plan. They opened a registered education savings plan for their children immediately, and they started an emergency fund. 2 weeks into all of this, she got another text message from her brother. Her able-bodied brother, whose wedding she had contributed to with her hard-earned money. He said his wife was going to put to bed next week, and they wanted financial support. If it was before, Fatima would have been quickly, she would have sent him money, feeling that it was her obligation to support him. But this time around, she explained, "Bro, I love you, but I can't send any money right now. I need to make sure my own kids have a future too." Her brother was annoyed and he called her names. But Fatima had made up her mind. If her brother was man enough to father a baby, then he should be man enough to pay for the delivery fees. It wasn't easy. Guilt still gnawed at her, but as months passed, she saw the difference. Her family members back home, they adjusted. Some grumbled, but life went on. Fatima realized that she had been pouring from an empty cup for far too long. She and Ahmed were finally saving. It wasn't much, but they weren't living paycheck to paycheck anymore. And for the first time in years, Fatima felt hopeful. When she confided to her friend Olivia, she told her that she had made a good decision. Olivia had a different approach to helping family back home. She set clear boundaries. "I send money back home when I can," Olivia told Fatima, "but not at the expense of my children's future. You need to realize that you are not just a provider for your family. You are a mother, a wife, and a woman who deserves financial security too." Maybe your situation is not exactly like Fatima's, but there are some very important lessons for immigrant parents in this story. Prioritize your immediate family. Charity, they say, begins at home. Supporting family back home is noble, but not at the expense of your children's future. And certainly not at your own expense. 2, set clear financial boundaries. Sending money should be a choice, not an obligation. Learn to say no when necessary. And instead of sending money home endlessly, why don't you help family members to find ways to be self-sufficient for themselves? 3, invest in your children's future. Open an RESP, a registered education savings plan for them, and take advantage of government grants. I have a video about that. I will link it up here and in the description. Also, teach your children about finances early. 4, emergency funds are a must. Life is unpredictable. Have savings to cushion against unexpected events. 5, plan for retirement. Many immigrants forget to save for their own old age, assuming that their children will take care of them. That assumption. A solid financial plan ensures independence in retirement. 6, seek financial education. Join immigrant financial literacy programs. Invest wisely and be financially intelligent. Fatima's story is the story of many immigrant parents abroad. Love and sacrifice are beautiful, but financial wisdom ensures that love does not become a burden. Love and responsibility must go hand in hand. So, dear parents, the question is, are you truly securing your children's future or just postponing financial struggles to the next generation? The choice is yours. The time is now. And in addition to securing your children's future, you need to secure yours too. And this video here will show you 7 easy ways to earn $800 a day in retirement. Share this video with a friend and I'll catch you in the next one.